I'm Thalos, and you're watching The Fans POV.
Welcome to The Fans POV.
You are watching The Fans POV.
I'm hoping to make some better improvements to my Big Daddy while here.
That's probably the worst rendition of the Yan Yan dance that's ever.
It was fine. It was graceful.
And we commandeer this in the name of the steampunk community.
John, tell us about pre-registration. Tell us about it.
I kept getting rickrolled every time I tried to pre-register.
Car. Chowder. Oh, this is a hard one. Harvard. Yankees rule. Oh, come on.
Oh, you make a sound? It doesn't even make a sound. Oh. Whoa. We're gonna have to clear this area. Cut this interview short. I'm sorry, I don't really know what's going on right now, but.
Hello, I'm Freya Mo here with the Fans POV, and right now we have for an interview the classy piano-playing man in the shadows, Mr. Todd in the Shadows himself. How are you, and how has your MAGFest been so far?
I am wearing a mask right now because I am so tired and I look like it. MAGFest has been pretty amazing. You know, all of us Channel Awesome guys, you know, we go around our normal lives, and, you know, normally we're not like a tenth as famous as, you know, someone who's on the third season of The Real World. Yeah. And we hear, like, oh my God, it's him. Yeah, it's been pretty awesome. I'm not a humble man to begin with, and this is not doing good things to my ego.
Oh my God, you're the real Shadow, Todd. I love your videos.
Yeah, some people here saw my face, some people know what I look like, so it's not going to be as big a secret right now. I don't think anyone snapped any pictures of me while I was unmasked, but...
It's like the thing is, people recognize you more when you have the mask on, because then they know who you are, but without the mask, you're just another person.
Yeah, I wore the whole thing. I wore this thing through the entire panel. You can see it. I think I was sitting right next to Spoonie. I think he thought I was weird.
Okay, well, let's get down to business. You play piano, obviously. You review bad pop music. What first inspired you to do such reviews?
Well, once upon a time, I saw this guy named the Angry Video Game Nerd, and I thought he was very funny. Later, I saw this thing called 5-second movies, and the guy who did that started making reviews of his own and on YouTube, and I thought those guys were pretty awesome. And then there were more and more I kept finding, especially when that guy with the glasses launched his own site. And I was like, man, I would love to do something like that. But, you know, by the time I started seriously considering it, it was already filled with movie reviewers. And quite honestly, I'm a huge movie fan. I'm much more of a movies person than I am a music person, quite honestly. But I was like, oh, there's all those bad movies. I couldn't really do that. And that's a niche that's overcrowded. And I certainly wasn't going to do video games because there was way too many of them. And there's more all the time. So I just sat on the idea for a year. And then I had the idea to do the pop songs. And it was just like, bam, I gotta do this, I gotta do this, I gotta do this, I gotta do this. And that was just my ticket in, because I hear these songs over and over and over and over and over again. I don't have to write material for this. I have a funny thought in the car. I'm like, that's pretty funny. I should tell that to my friends. And I've been doing that for so long. I did it like on my personal live journal, which you can't find because it's not even there anymore. But I was sharing my thoughts about things to my friends, and I was like, oh my God, that's it! I could do that. And that's how I got started with this. And a very few short months later, they asked me to join the site, so here I am. And it's been pretty amazing.
Now, related to that, when did you start actually playing piano? Because I know a lot of people watch your reviews. I know a lot of people enjoy them for the sole purpose of you play the song before you review it on the piano. When did you start playing?
I don't remember anymore. I was in grade school, I know that. I took lessons from a nice old lady for many years, bless her heart. I stopped in high school, but at that point I was like trying to figure out things on my own. And you got to understand, I was not a natural talent. I was not at all. I hated piano. I hated it. But eventually I got to the point where I got to start playing songs that I actually wanted to play and figuring out things on my own. And that's where the piano thing comes from. And on some level, I think the reviews are just an excuse to allow me to play piano. I don't. I've actually released a couple videos of me that's not on That Guy with the Glasses. It'll never be up on That Guy with the Glasses. Of just me playing the piano. I wouldn't do that because I see people on YouTube who are actually like legitimately talented, far more than I am. So, I don't want to waste people's time. So I don't do that very often. But I love playing the piano. Yeah.
Cool. Now, in relation to that, it's obvious, I've heard you mention before, you love pop music, and that's why you do the reviews as much as you hate them. What are some of your favorite bands?
See, I never know how to answer that. Because I'm a piano person, one of my favorites has always been Ben Folds, and back when he was with the Ben Folds 5 especially, but his solo stuff too. Definitely, as a piano player, I thought just his stuff was amazing, and his stuff is so much fun to play when I actually am able to learn it, which is not easy. When I was in high school, when I first started getting into music, I was a humongous Foo Fighters fan, and I still am. And I started getting all the class. You got to understand, I only listened to country music until I was about 15, because that's all my parents would let me listen to. At 15, I was like, "Who are you two? Who are Nirvana? I have never heard of these people." But like when I decided to get into it, it was like voracious. I was buying like 5 CDs at a time. And as for pop music, I tell this story a lot. I didn't listen to it at all. Like when I first started listening to it, I remember like occasionally seeing like a pop song on MTV back in the Backstreet Britney era. And I didn't dislike it. I didn't care about it. It was just something interesting that I hadn't been exposed to before at that point. In late 2006, the antenna came off my car, and I was living in a place that didn't have any good radio stations to begin with. And then at that point, all I had to listen to, because I like listening to the radio. I hear enough music I already know to begin with. So the only station I had was the classic rock station and the pop station. I've heard every song on the classic rock station 1 billion times. So and you're going to hear the new Katy Perry song 1 billion times, but you're not going to hear it every day for the rest of your life. And that's I stole that line from someone else from something awful, but that's why I can't really listen to classic rock radio much anymore.
Because you've heard it all before, essentially.
1 million times. I mean, I love More Than a Feeling. I love Bohemian Rhapsody, but it's gotten to the point where I cannot listen to them anymore. And we don't have a good alternative station where I was living at the time, or where I'm living now for that matter. So it was that.
All right, now for your reviews, where did you come up with the idea to do them like this in the shadows? Why just with the lighting? Why not wear a mask like this, or do like a black box thing, or just be a voice with the music video?
I wanted to be on camera because I wanted to show off that I could play piano. I didn't want to do it masked. I don't know, just because, I don't know, I feel like I'm more expressive with the mask off in the shadows. And when I do it in the shadows, it's very limiting on what you can do. You lose a whole lot of acting that you're able to do. So whatever I'm doing there, I can only act with my hands and my jawline and my voice. So, but I don't know, I just liked the idea of the image of it. Like, I didn't like the idea of, like, me staring at the camera behind a mask. And it's awkward because I have to do it sideways. And for a while, I have a microphone in the scene the entire time, just because I need something to talk to. Otherwise, what the hell am I talking at?
You're talking at a wall, essentially, or your keyboard, or whatever's in front of you.
It's weird, but it made me stand out. So I was always I just always liked the way it looked, and it hid the fact that my camera is so awful and so old.
Have you ever been in a band?
Well, I was in a marching band for a while. I was in the jazz band a little. I didn't enjoy them. I've never really gotten to play with anyone. The closest thing I did, me and some Channel Awesome people were actually jamming in the MAGFest jam space earlier. One guy I didn't know on organ, me on the piano, and Michael Skicciano on drums, and Mars Girl on guitar. Mars Girl picked up a guitar and played it. I didn't know she could do that. And it all sounded terrible. Except for we did a decent version of I Got a Feeling by the Black Eyed Peas.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just spontaneous, random. Now you were doing reviews on YouTube before you got picked up by Blip and that guy with the glasses. Out of all the reviews you've done, all your YouTube reviews and your Blip reviews, which one is your absolute favorite?
Sexy Bitch is high up there just because I thought like every joke hit on that one. Quite honestly though, my favorite is probably OMG, just because I feel like sometimes it just, like here's a joke, and it doesn't really fit together very well. It's just joke. I thought the OMG one actually flowed together pretty well. Also, the me hitting on Lupa joke is by far the favorite joke I have ever written of mine in my entire life. It's the only thing I've ever written that makes me laugh. I still think it is the best thing I have ever done. I'm horribly self-conscious about showing my videos to people I know, but I was like, I have to show this one to people.
It's like, hey, I hit on this girl. Let's check it out.
No, but I don't know why, but it just made me laugh so hard. If not for fear of beating it into the ground, I would include a me stalking Lupa joke in every single video.
Now, what pop song do you plan your reviews far out in advance? And if so, do you have anything lined up for the future that you can tell us about?
Okay. I almost never plan more than 2 episodes ahead. I hear bad pop songs, but I hear bad pop songs all the time. But I think, wow, that's a bad pop song. I probably don't have enough material to review that. But over time, it starts building until I was like, hey, I think I have enough material to review this. Now I've been out of commission I was out of commission for a couple of weeks because I was sick, and around this time I want to do. Last year I did a top 10 worst list, top 10 best list. I did a kind of a top 10 worst list, and I'm going to do a top 10 best list, and it's going to be pretty embarrassing. But I always like doing the best list because, well, I like talking about music. I only get to do that so often.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fun. I wouldn't want to do it more than once a year, but for a while, my favorite was my top 10 best list because, you know, I get to hear music I like. And that's the hardest part of doing these reviews. I have to listen to the same song over and over again, and I already don't like it. And as for because I've been out of commission so long, I actually do have some things that planned pretty far in advance.
Okay.
After I do the best list, I know which one I'm doing after that, and I've got a couple candidates for which one I'm going to be doing after that. But I don't want to say what.
Okay. Now, is there anything that you have reviewed? Like you were just talking about, you know, you have the best list and the worst list. Is there any song that you have done in your reviews that you didn't really hate, or you came to like later, or it became kind of a guilty pleasure for you to listen to it?
Your Love Is My Drug by Kesha, I didn't hate. I didn't like, but Bad Romance is the closest thing I've ever come to liking one of the songs I reviewed, like genuinely liking. But that rah rah ah ah stuff has never sounded anything but stupid to me. TikTok by Kesha I kind of love and I kind of despise. I said that during the review.
Yeah.
And you know, if I won't say I hate a song if I don't genuinely hate it. And I'll never but even when I genuinely hate songs, I still kind of love them. Because, yeah, you know, talk to Brad Jones, a cinema snob. He loves the stuff he reviews. He loves the fact that they exist. He loves that they're there. And I'm kind of that way too, because pop music is just so weird. It's just so weird in a way you don't see with like so quote unquote good music.
Especially in this day and age, we have, you know, Lady Gaga and everyone who's trying to rip off Lady Gaga now with the weird clothes and the style and everything else. Now, this show is for the fans, and fans do some crazy stuff sometimes. Have you ever had do you have a crazy fan story that you would like to share with us?
I read the stuff fans write about me in the forums and on other places because I obsessively self-Google. I'm not sure I have any weird fan stories. I mean, I certainly don't get stopped on the street, obviously, but I've been here. 2 different girls said they had crushes on me. It was it was pretty amazing. Like, oh my god. I was like, wow, I should wear the mask more often. Apparently, it's doing it for me.
And also, before we go, again, fans ask. This show's for the fans. Fans ask some pretty weird questions of you, and this show has been all about asking you things. What is one question that you would like to ask all the fans?
Let me see. Am I doing okay? I don't know. I'm not sure I'm so good at interacting with fans. I'm like always kind of a little bit awkward around people I don't know, even when they're going, oh my god. Fans, I don't have any questions for you. Just continue loving me, please.
We will, I promise. As long as you keep playing the piano and making reviews, we will love you. Thank you very much for taking the time out to do this interview. It was a pleasure. Very nice seeing you. This is Freya Mo for the Fans POV, signing off.